We're getting ready, obviously, to play Minnesota here Wednesday night, and big game. Both teams are obviously striving towards getting, here towards the finish line. And Minnesota's had some really, really impressive wins. They've had a great season so far. I don't think there's a team in America that's probably had the type of quality of wins that they've had this season. And they're deeper. Marcus Carr is terrific. I think the big kid, Liam Robbins, who they've added, really has given them a presence inside. And then they have a slew of other guys just contributing. I think Mashburn as a freshman's played very, very well here of late. And they're just a good team, very good offensively, very good in transition. And we got our work cut out for us on Wednesday.
All right, Coach Alex.
Archie, you mentioned on your radio show last night that about the slow starts, that it's not just as simple as saying we've got to start faster. So I'm kind of curious what maybe you've seen in terms of watching film and all that, and like what's contributing to the slow starts, and what maybe when you've talked to the players about it, what kind of things have you emphasized to maybe kind of change the direction on that?
Well, I think the slow starts really contribute to slow on offense, and I don't mean slow running or slow moving. I mean, we're out of the gates very, very slow on offense. And we miss a ton of easy ones to start games. We miss free throws to start games. And I think we hope to get off to a good start offensively as a team. I think more so than anything, it's probably more of a confidence thing. I think that's why you see as the game continues to go and you get your feet under you, we seem to be able to climb back in and be able to sustain better play and higher level of play. But I think to start the game, we're a very apprehensive offensive team, a team that hopes for things to go well. It's why you miss a layup to start the game. It's why you struggle in and around the rim. You miss your first couple threes. You get fouled, you draw a great foul, and at the end of the day, you go to the line, you miss two. So I think part of it's confidence. I think part of it, faster out of the gates means you got to be a more confident group to start. Maybe less anxiety or stress that you hope to do well to start a game is maybe a better way of putting it. But it's not for lack of effort. It's not for lack of running hard or trying hard. I think it's more of a confidence thing. And I think our offense contributes to the slower start more than our defense. I think it puts a lot of pressure on our defense to start the game, getting back in transition. You're having to start, by getting good, stop after stop after stop when you're playing against really good teams is hard. We do find a way to get our feet under us, like I said, which is good, but got to be a more confident team offensively when we start the game.
Zach.
Archie, when you guys played Minnesota a year ago, I think that was obviously Trace had a career game, but I think Trace and Rice played really well together in the post. Now we see so much more of them starting together. What makes them work well together inside, just in terms of maybe the way their games fit in the front court without maybe getting in each other's way very often? I
think Race Thompson's a very good complement to Trace. I think it starts with him understanding, number one, how to play, how to move the ball, how to play off another guy. He does a great job of creating action for us as another guy out there. And that contributes, I think, to me, of being a guy that plays well with another front court player and also plays well with our team. Race is a big cog in our wheel just in terms of making us go. He takes a lot of pressure off of Trace to create, all the offense. And I think as Race has evolved through the course of this season, he's been a much more confident player. Our team is confidence in Race. But to me, that relationship goes well because of the role that Race takes on as being unselfish. He does what you ask him to do, and he plays off of other people and makes them better. This year, he's been more of a primary guy for us just in terms of being able to help the scoring load or the rebounding load. But definitely it's more of a Race role than anything. I think whoever he plays with is a guy that he can make you better with how he attacks the, sort of his role.
Kevin.
Yeah, Coach, in light of the slow starts, how do you feel about the starting five at this point? I mean, could that possibly be a factor, or would you consider any changes going forward with the start?
Won't consider any changes going forward, and it won't be due to slow starts. If we change our lineup, it'll have something to do with we feel that guy really earned the right to maybe get off to an earlier start in the game or deserve more playing time. But, the first five that goes out there, to me, he's got to be a more confident group, like I said. And a lot of it, to be honest with you, is Trace. If you want me to, you want me to pull Trace out of the starting lineup for missing a couple free throws or an easy one to start the game. To me, we got to get him more of a confidence level to start the game. And I think that will help us more than anything. But, there won't be any lineup changes unless it's due to, circumstances not surrounding how we start a game. But, to me, our group is working hard for being in February and the grind that we're in. We have a great attitude. We work every day very hard. And I think yesterday was no difference. I think I see more of a bounce with certain guys as we finish the home stretch here, that they're pushing in the right direction. And what you hope is that attitude, that work ethic sort of contributes a little bit more to the start of the game in terms of getting off to a better start. But no grand changes. We are who we are. Most guys on our team know right now they can all contribute in different ways, and they're getting their opportunities. They just got to be better.
Jim.
Coach, similar question, but this is further into the game. I know that a lot of that is set up during practice during the week, as you just talked about, who the starters and all that. But when the game is actually going on and the team that you're playing is doing different, making adjustments, does what's going on the floor, whether it's a particular unit or an individual may having a hot hand, does that not go into consideration for how you may start a second half, maybe continuing a role that that particular team may be on at the time?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the rhythm of a game, pretty much outlines who's doing what and how their extended minutes will play. I mean, there's always conversations about coming out of halftime, changing it up when one guy has a really good start to the game or a good first half. But in all reality, you have to go with the faith of the guys that, number one, have earned the right to be out there, and number two, you don't want to lose confidence in guys by making changes. Sometimes making changes can hurt you just as much as help you, with the confidence level of other guys. And I think we want to keep all of our guys right now in the right mental framework that, sometimes it goes in peaks and valleys in terms of how you're playing throughout the course of the year. But the finish is the most important part, and having everybody engaged right now, doing what we're asking them to do and trying to simplify some roles. But, throughout the course of a game, I think playing time is definitely distributed based on how you're doing out there, which we've seen, different lineups in the game in the last 3 or 4 games with 4 freshmen on the floor at one time because they're playing well. And I think, when things aren't going well for you during a game like Ohio State, I'm not sure that one guy or a lineup change is really going to mean a lick of difference when it comes to how you were playing in that game. But if you look at our game against Northwestern, Jerome finished very strong. He did. He played really well and was able to finish the game in there. I think Christian's playing more minutes because he's earned the right to play more minutes, and he's doing a nice job of facilitating at times for us. And I think Wednesday night will be the same. Whoever's playing well and has an opportunity to help us gets more opportunity, but you earn that, pretty much every day with the belief that you give everybody around you.
Last question, Tom.
Coach, you out of necessity a bit, you had to play Jerome with Race and Trace on Saturday. If you could, would you like to do that more often?
Yes, it's something that we've talked a lot about. The injury to Joey really put us in a tough bind when it comes to being able to play a bigger lineup. Jerome played, 99.9% of the possessions a year ago in his first year playing with us with two guys like that. So he's comfortable doing it. The injury to Joey really sets us back just in terms of our rotation, and foul trouble comes into place, or you need another small forward out there, and Jerome can stretch the floor a little bit, shoot it. So we're not opposed to Jerome just playing the 4, but to me, being able to play Jerome in some games here and down the stretch at the 3 gives us a bigger team. We needed a bigger team on the floor against Ohio State with what was going on in the rebounding. He hasn't played as many minutes in that role, but it's something definitely that if we can sneak with it and get him out there, it gives us an opportunity to play more veteran guys, and it gives us a bigger team. So I think it's something we've constantly tried to do. It's also been a problem, just due to our depth and what we've needed to be able to accomplish with the team that we currently are able to play.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep. Thanks.